now 6:30. We'll call to order the regular scheduled meeting of the Marion City Chambers, City Council. Chamber, I've done Chamber too. The Marion City Council meeting, and I'd like to welcome Ray that's here in attendance tonight. I know it's cold outside, wet and nasty, but thank you for coming and taking part in our City Council meeting. If you'd all please stand for the prayer and the pledge. Lord, thank you for allowing us to come together this evening to carry out the good deeds of our citizens and the ones that have elected us to represent them. Lord, look over to the men and women who we just celebrated Veterans Day for, the veterans that serve us and protected our freedoms that we have, and look over the men and women that are in service today, watching over us. And Lord, help us and guide us and direct us in the decisions we make tonight. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Once again, like I said, welcome to everybody for being here tonight, and we'll move right along with our agenda. First item on our agenda is to approve the minutes from the October 8th regular council meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda is to approve the special meeting for the minutes for October the 23rd. Do I have a motion to approve them as presented?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 5 on our agenda is the second reading of the ordinance 1905 and the ordinance to establish the recycling fee for curbside pickup within the city of Marion. Do I have a motion to approve it? Make a motion.
Sure. I make a motion to approve the second reading on ordinance 1905, ordinance to establish a recycling fee for curbside pickup within the city of Marion.
Second.
Any discussion? Just as a reminder, what we were trying to shoot for is a January closing of the recycling center in January. So the passages, if this were to pass this evening, then we would put it out to bid to obtain those carts, which we have a grant for to pay for those rollout carts. So that probably take us 30 days or so. So it's going to probably be first week or so of January before we can get everything going. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on our agenda is the October Employee of the Month, and it's always a pleasure for me to do this. So it says October in my notes, but it's actually the November. The November Employee of the Month is Miss Ansley Sanders, our clerk. Miss Ansley. As everybody knows, Miss Ansley Sanders, she's our clerk. She's doing a fantastic job in the city of Marion. Congratulations and thank you for all you do. And if you don't mind, we're going to try and move back. We're going to go back in.
I was doing the work of the Lord, so that's why he gave me an excuse for being late. I got it here.
We figured you
Yeah, I was almost, but
flat time.
yeah, the good Lord gave me a great excuse here. So.
All right.
I'd like to say, Mr. Mayor, that I'm not late. I was talking to Jesus on the way here. He gave me a little excuse to say 5 minutes.
You're good to go. Thank you for making it here. Ansley, congratulations as well. Moving right along, item number 7, and in your packet is Reverend Marvin Hemingway is having his Women to Women conference on November the 16th, as he has for the last couple of years. We have tickets. I think we have 8 tickets available if anybody would like to go. We have a sponsorship, and we have the 8 tickets. So see Ansley, and if you want to go, she'll be glad to give you those tickets for you and your guest. But in doing so, Reverend Hemingway has some guest speakers and people that will be at this Women to Women conference. He would like to get a resolution from us just appreciating what those individuals have done to the community and for our country, and I'd like to get an approval to get these resolutions approved, so we can get them typed up and presented. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on our agenda, item number 8. So last month, we presented to you a list of projects that we wanted to go to the C funds to do some projects. So we had to rank our projects because we knew that they had some budgetary constraints, but other people were going for funds. So we ranked our projects, and we ranked 1 through 4, 1 through 6. We were successful in getting 4 of them, so we had submitted $280,000 in bids, and we were able to get $140,000 in funding. The first item, number 8, is the first item that we had on our bid sheet, which was replacing some storm drain pipe on Devon and Ashley Avenue. And included in your packet is the estimate, the bids that we opened up. If you'll notice, it's item 7 in your attachments. We had 7 contractors to bid on this project. Low bid contractor being Moody Construction at $32,250. Do I have a motion to approve the low bid on the Ashley Avenue drainage works?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
But does anybody know anything about Moody Construction?
He's the gentleman that did the last project for us on Park Avenue. And he ran into some issues with some pipes and gas and stuff like that. But yes, he's the same contractor. Any other discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. The next 3 items that we were looking at to get approval for are bids for the walking track repairs. Now, this is not C-Fund money. This is FEMA reimbursement money. So our 2 walking tracks that were so damaged by Hurricane Florence, the bids were to put a new coat of sand clay on top of those tracks and to level it out and dress it up, clean it up. We had a total of 8 contractors bid on that. And it's item number 9, agenda item. And Moody Construction, there again was a low bid on this one at $16,950. Motion to approve that.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah. Question.
Yes, sir.
There's a big discrepancy in these bids.
Yeah.
And I guess where I'm coming from, because of such a bid discrepancy, from low to high, we need to make sure, Alan, I guess you're supervising this, or somebody's.
Yes, and if you'll notice, the next closest bid was Harrington Construction here in Marion. He was at $17,400.
Yeah,
All the other bidders were, this Martin and Son was out of Spartanburg, ARC's out of Merle's Inlet.
Yeah, 149.5, there's a lot of, that's what I'm getting, there's a lot of difference in 149.5 and 16,950. But we just need to make sure that they're fulfilling the contract.
Sure.
That's my hope.
Yeah.
Because there's such a big discrepancy.
I don't think ARC's very hungry.
Yeah, I mean, and with Harrington Construction, with the 2 locals being relatively close, these others are
I
still
just
not, but-
want to make sure we're doing our oversight.
Yes, sir.
And some of them did site visits, and some of them did. That's part of that. I know Harrington and Mr. Moody and a couple more of them, they actually did site visits. Some of these didn't, they seen it online, didn't advertise,
Sure.
went by the specifications that were set forth by FEMA, and that's what they bid on.
I understand.
But they do have some kind of bonding insurance.
Oh, yes,
So
sir.
if they don't, a performance
All
bond,
meeting the specs, but.
and if they have a performance bond, they would be duty bound to fulfill it to at least a standard specification. Would that not be right?
That's correct.
And so if they have that performance bond, then they would be held responsible without us going any further in debt.
That is correct.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item number 10 is to repair the volleyball court. So we're down at Withlacoochee Park, we have a sand pit volleyball court. So we put that out to bid. Well, FEMA taking care of that because it was underwater. They said the sand was needed replaced. So we received 7 bids for taking out all that white sand and putting back into specs new white sand for the volleyball court. There again, low bidder on that was Moody Construction. And those bids are, there again, Harrington and Moody are 2 local contractors. ARC, of course, out of Myrtle Beach, and Martin and Sons out of Spartanburg. So, the motion.
Bid is a lot closer than others.
Yes.
Same thing.
Yeah.
The motion to approve it.
So moved.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item, agenda number 11, is to replace the playground mulch at the playground at the tennis courts and at Grice's Recreation Center. There again, it was contaminated by the flooding and everything like that, so FEMA's paying for that. Specs where they got to take out all the bad mulch and put in new mulch. In this particular case, you'll see there were 8 contractors that bidded on this, and Martin and Son was low bidder at $23,100. Martin & Son, just so y'all know, is a contractor based out of Spartanburg area. They came down and did a site visit on all these sites and prepared their bids. They came in on this particular job as the low bidder at $23,100. The next lower bidder was $24,350, which was Mr. Moody. We made a phone call to the Martin & Son contractors and said, hey, I know you put in a bid for all these others, and maybe if you'd got 1 or 2, you'd have been worth their while to come to Spartanburg. Do you still want the date? You are the low bidder. And they said, yes, they still wanted the job. That they could still do it and come out ahead on it. Yes. Yeah, we made, they still want to do it at $23,100, and, because, they got to come from Spartanburg, but it worth their while if they didn't have any other job to do in the area. And they said, yes, they were still in. So I have a motion to approve it.
Use Martin, whatever it is, Martin.
Martin and Son.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Any opposed? Thank you. Next, item number 12 is we need approval to sell a couple of items. There's our old box truck, and I think Alan has a handout for us. Our old box truck and the gym lights. The box truck, it's leaf time, so we had an old, big old truck that we had the leaf vacuum machine. Well, last year we went along on that truck, and it was leaking pretty good, the engine was. So we lit along last year, and last year we also built a new box that we can set in the back of one of our flatbed trucks so we could run 2 vac machines at one time. Because we had 2 vac machines, but we only had 1 truck that you could put it in, so we made a box. Hardy Welding made us a box, and we used that truck for multi-purpose. Well, this engine blew up on this truck this year as we were getting it prepared, as we were preparing everything for leaf season. The engine blew up on it. It's an old truck from the 92, engine's blown, that's pieced together here and there. So our decision was probably not to invest money in doing that. It's to rather invest money in building another box that we can set into one of our white flatbed trucks. That way we can lift it off when we need it and put it back on when we need it. And we're not having insurance and everything else to deal with it. So we'd like to sell it. Now, in talking to Mr. Winky and Randy, it's basically scrap, is all we're anticipating to get out. We put it on the gov bids to sell it, but they don't think we'll get much more than $400. More than $400. I mean, we're just being realistic. It's scrap metal is basically all it's worth, but we didn't want to set no expectations on this one that we're going to give any money. So,
I make a motion to sell the box truck,
Second.
but I don't know about the gym.
let me tell you about the gym lights. The gym lights over at AC Tolleson Gym, we had some lights in there, and of course with the light bulb people, we switched all that out to LED. We had a lot of lights that were left over that we saved them. Well, think we got a buyer for those lights. Another municipality, Latta, is expressed an interest in buying those lights. And it's either to go in the trash or we can sell it and get a little bit of money off of it. So
Store, we keep them, so I'd suggest,
we sell them to them. They got the old orange looking lights in their gym, where our lights we had were white crisper light, but not LED. So we wanted to sell both of those and take the proceeds from that and go to build a new leaf box.
Is that included in your motion, Ron?
That was in your motion, right?
Include the gym lights.
gym lights, yes.
Okay. Give me a second.
No, second, yeah.
All right.
Any other discussion?
I second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 13 is the Marion County School District Memorandum of Understanding for Sheltering and Mass Facilities. So basically what it is, the school district approached us regarding if there's a mass event at one of their locations, some kind of incident of something where they needed to get all those students out of that school and into a safe environment. So we thought they drafted a proposal to us it's a 5-year agreement to use CD Joiner in the event of a mass incident where they had to vacate the schools. They come to us, say, we need to be in the school, we need to be basically in like an hour. They would be responsible for getting people there. All we gotta do is maintain sure it's open and the bathrooms are working and the lights and heating air's on. They're responsible for all the other actions on it. But we just needed
Is this,
an agreement.
the way I'm reading this is just for the auditorium,
CD Joiner, that's right.
not the gym and not any, just
Just-
CD gym.
Just the CD, it's got all the seating in it, so they can sit, for the 500 people, 900 people. So that would take care of just the schools that we'd have. You got anything on that, Alan? You-
No, sir, that's exactly right, Mayor. It's in place of-
I move we approve for the mayor and the administrator to sign the agreement with Marion School District, memorandum of understanding, shelter and mass care facilities as presented.
Second. Any discussion?
Can't it accommodate 900 people? Fire?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 14 on your agenda is the memorandum agreement between South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control and the City of Marion. So basically what that's regarding is they would like to enter into an agreement for us in case of a pandemic or where they need to go out and, okay, we got to inoculate everybody for swine flu again or bird flu, whatever the incident might be, where they need to be able to get a lot of people at one time to administer shots or whatever it be. They would like to use AC, the Shannon Wilkerson Gym. And the reason why we're saying the Shannon Wilkerson Gym is because it had the multi-purpose flooring in there and it'd be better suited
This says
for that type.
Tolleson.
AC
Gym.
Tolleson.
It says Tolleson.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Shannon Wilkerson.
It's supposed to be Shannon Wilkerson.
Yes.
All right, so you change that?
Change it to Shannon Wilkerson. That way, because Shannon Wilkerson has the multi-purpose floor, we're not messing up our nice hardwood floors over at AC Tolleson.
Okay, well, they just have, you'll have to get the attorney to rewrite that.
Yeah. So that would be and that would be a 5-year agreement as well, but I think, it's rare that you're ever going to use it, but it's something we need in case of a mass.
It's kind of like when we were growing up and had the polio shots,
Yeah.
the polio vaccine, that kind of thing. Yeah, I move we approve the memorandum of agreement between the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control and the City of Marion for the 5-year period to allow them to use the Shannon Wilkerson Gym.
Second motion.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have items number 15 and 16 are requests to address City Council, and the first on there is Mr. Larry D. Smith regarding some 18-wheeler trucks on Manning Street. Mr. Smith? He's not here. I'll give you a little bit of an update on what Mr. Smith is regarding. We were having some problems with trucks on traffic on Manning Street where they're leaving the Heritage property. So what we did is we went to DOT because DOT controls that road And we asked them if we could put the signs up that says no trucks. Well, after 6 months or so, DOT finally came back, did what they said, and said, yes, you can put up the signs that says no trucks on this road. So we did that. We went to all the trucks that were parking, historically had parked there at the Heritage property, and we put a flyer on the windows of the truck to kind of give the drivers notice that, hey, you can't be coming down Manning Road, Manning Street anymore. You got to turn out and go down a different route. And we got some people that just don't, and we've been trying to catch some, but they're leaving earlier in the morning, and you got to be there when they're riding down that road, you know? So I've had a conversation with Tony and asked him to make sure early in the morning, they beef up their patrols in that area. We're going about tomorrow making up those same flyers and taking those same flyers, and we're going to get those trucks again early in the morning and the afternoon when they're coming back in and put those flyers back on it. And you just got to catch them. We got to write some tickets.
Our flyers are just saying that you just shouldn't drive on this road because of lawful DOT has announced that.
Yeah, it's only the section from Wheeler Street to Main Street. It's only that one
They
section.
can come in on
Supply.
Bob Jarrell Parkway.
Bobby Joe Parkway,
Yeah.
go out Bobby Joe Parkway. It doesn't affect the parking, the truck parking.
Yeah, but the county allows them to park there. The county has control of that.
DOT only regulated the park from Wheeler Street to Main Street.
Could you also include that they explicitly that they would be ticketed and fined if they're caught on that memorandum?
I can't remember on the first one, but the second one would definitely be.
And so if we leave that on there, then that gives them a good notice, of course, to not go down Manning Street. And if they're found and they get a ticket, we've already given them proper notice, as well as giving them the penalty associated with that particular notice. Because then if someone has an issue with it, you say, well, now we've warned you once, we warned you twice with the notice and the penalty, so you should take heed to it. So if you choose to go down that road, and you choose to also pay the city this fine.
Yeah. And that's what we'll do on that fly. Because what it's doing is it's waking the residents up early in the morning, and they're coming in late in the evening, and the people are trying to rest, so it's not fair to them.
So I imagine about 5 o'clock in the morning, get down there at 4 o'clock.
Yeah. So that was what Mr. Smith was going to address the council about, but we were working on it, so we'll get Dennis to go around and start tagging these trucks again. Okay. Next on our list is Cynthia Ford. She's been before us before. She wanted to make a brief presentation regarding her youth leadership.
Okay, good evening. Good to see you all again. A few of you may know that I am currently the county manager with Marion County Department of Juvenile Justice. I do serve part-time with the military as well, but I'm not here for either one of those two. I'm here for another project that I have that's dear to my heart that I established this year. It's called Beyond Empowerment, and I have two portions of it, Beyond Empowerment LLC and Beyond Empowerment Foundation. And part of that program is geared towards young people, anyone between the ages of 14 and 18. They don't have to have any type of at-risk environment. It's just anybody between that age. Can be males, can be females. Right now, we have partnered with Clemson Extension to host our first semester there. And then in January, we may continue there or venture off into another area. But it's a 9-week curriculum that is designed to get them to maximize upon their strengths. First, to recognize their strengths, maximize upon those strengths, know what it is that they want to do, but not only have thoughts of what they want to do, but write the vision and actually make it happen. So what we're doing is actually pushing those youth to push towards those goals and to make it happen. For example, week 1, we dealt with the influencer, different things that influence our lives and different activities concerning that. Week 2, we did write the vision, so they did vision boards. Week 3, we did the art of self-care. Week 4, we did preparing for the workforce, where we did sample job applications. We did resumes. We did things as far as searching for college applications or looking into military avenues as well. We did, week 5, I had different people to come in from the community to do mock interviews with the youth, to prepare them as far as how to, or what to do whenever they're going out to start working. So we have 2 people who are working, but just to give them that professional experience, we're doing an interview. Last week, we did a free home buyers workshop where Samantha Murray out of Florence came and she taught the youth as well as other visitors the process of how to purchase a home, build a home, as well as sell a home. On tomorrow, we're going to do budgeting and finance. The week after that, we're going to do leadership. And then our final workshop will be networking and networking with community leaders and community partners and celebrating your achievements. And so this is why I come to you tonight, because I want to invite you to that last week. It'll actually be their graduation. So we'll be celebrating their accomplishments for coming for 9 weeks. No complaining from any of the youth, but they were fired up and they were ready to learn. They're excited about the program and they're ready to implement those things into their lives. So where you all come in is networking with community leaders. I want them to meet you and to not be afraid to actually go up to you and shake your hand and say, hello, I am, and tell you what it is that they want to do with their future. So their graduation will be on December the 2nd. We're going to have it at the Opera House, and it will be from 6 o'clock p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. So I am very cognizant of time, so I wouldn't hold you over your time, but there's some things that we do want to do on that night, but it definitely includes the youth meeting you as well as other people within the community.
Sound like a great thing you're doing this for. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for all your hard work and thank you for your service to our country.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Any questions?
How long have you been with this program? Did you say Beyond?
Beyond Empowerment, and also you can, if you are on social media, I do have a page. I do put inspirational things on my page on a regular basis. So it is on Facebook, it is on Twitter, it is on Instagram as well. But the most that I do is on Facebook, and we do have the pictures of the youth who are involved. And this year was my first year doing Beyond Empowerment, and it was actually. Because I want to go beyond what we do with our youth. I work with at-risk youth all the time and trying to implement different things within my office, but I wanted to just reach beyond that and see what else I can do to pull upon those strengths and get them to reach their goals.
You say the graduation is December the 2nd?
December the 2nd.
And how long was the course? Is it like a...
It's a 9-week course, and I did that in consultation with Bishop Blue. He gave me an idea of saying, do it with the 9 weeks of school, because as they have their goals of, completing or making good grades in school, this will also be a goal of them completing those things. And so I did that for 9 weeks period of time. And so in January, we'll start with a new group of people, and that way we'll have the opportunity to work with as many people as possible.
And you're doing this outside of your current job and
Right.
the other things that you do for our community?
Yes, I am.
So this is your personal
Passion.
goal and passion towards
It is.
helping out. And,
Right.
that's a wonderful thing. And
Yeah.
we actually need so much more of it. But to see that you are here in our county and you're giving to these young adults in our county is more than commendable.
Thank you.
We thank you from our heart for anything we can do as a city. I'm sure that all of us would be glad to help you.
Thank you.
in
I
the process
appreciate
of
it.
doing
Thank you. Any other comments? Thank you, Ms. Ford. You're doing a great job.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Moving on, our agenda is Alan's administrator's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple things to go over with council, and the mayor alluded to the C funds earlier, and we were fortunate enough to get items 1 through 4 funded to the tune of $140,000, and we were also said we could come back probably in March, April, and get the money to fund the other 2 projects. As you can see tonight with the bids, we come in about $20,000 in the budget on that first project. So all that money goes right back in the pot, so we go back and ask for it, there'll be that much more for us to get. So yeah, we'll get started on that one immediately, and like I said, we'll go back in March or April and get the rest to finish these out. Also, you have the holiday schedule. I left it at the desk there, just showing you the days that the city observes being off. Through November and December, we do New Year's Day. Also, left you a note up there showing how garbage pickup, it'll just be 1 day behind for those holidays. And lastly, the 800 radio system, I know all of you are aware of it. That was one of the ones that sales tax projects, $6 million plus. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock, they're going to switch over with 4 sites operational out of the 5. The mayor and myself went to a meeting last Thursday night, and they demonstrated the new digital system. Here, it was like us talking in here. It was like night and day, the system we got now. But in the morning, 10 o'clock, they're gonna switch over, cut the old stuff off, cut the new stuff on. And 4 of the sites are up and running. There's one more tower. It's not, it'll probably be mid-December before it's up and running. They have an agreement, they worked an agreement out with Florence County to piggyback off 2 of their towers until they get that site over in Rushberry up and running, about mid-December.
Anything else?
That's all I have.
Mr. Brogdon, do you have any legal updates for us?
I do not, Mr. Marion.
Thank you, sir. Moving right along, a couple of little announcements that I'm getting us to mind. For the 10th year, we're going to do the Christmas food boxes. We've sent out those invitations. I mean, there's requests for flyers for supplies. This is a great deal that we do for the city of citizens of Marion. If you're inclined to make a contribution, if you could get it to us a check for that. And then we work with a couple of different organizations and Food Line and package these boxes, and we go out in the fire department and police department around Christmas and deliver those items, and it's much needed and well appreciated. So help out on that, that'd be great. Also, our city employees luncheon is going to be on Wednesday, December 11th at the Shannon Wilkerson Gym from 12 to 1:30. It's always a great lunch prepared by Mr. Winky and some of the other guys and ladies and around. So if you can put on your calendar to be there for our employees luncheon, that would be fantastic. And just another little note is over in Nichols, I know it's the town of Nichols, but they are opening their new fire station and having their grand opening for that new fire station on November the 14th, which is this Thursday. If you're inclined to go check out their new fire station, that would be good. On the way of some of my comments on some of the things that we've been happening, you know, with Hurricane Matthew caught us all by off guard. Hurricane Florence comes along, so we were kind of prepared, and we kind of knew what we were doing. 23 months later, you're still fresh in your mind, okay? And as you know, the state sent a lot of resources here for search and rescue. They housed them, we housed them over here, and we were well established and all that. And, you know, we've got our new vac truck, and we're cleaning the storm drains. We're doing what we can to be prepared for the next high water event, or flooding, or whatever. But in doing so, you know, we told you what we've done as far as the vac trucks and cleaning drains and trying to prevent flooding in certain areas. And while I'm on that, let me just go ahead and tell you this. So, you know, I told you last month that we were working with Miss Ann Burrs at the Housing Authority on cleaning up the canal behind Strawberry Street. So on November the 20th, the Traco and the triaxle dump truck will be delivered, and we're going to start work with the Housing Authority. They're leasing the equipment. We're going to put our operators on it. That equipment's being delivered November the 20th, so we'll start working on that canal and cleaning that, and then she'll come back and put a fence. So back to the storm preparation. So the city of Marion has been participating in what's called a 1033 program. It's a government program where you can get used surplus equipment. And we've been paying to be a member of this program for the last 10 years. And we really have never seen the fruits of our membership. And when Chief Flowers came on board, I said, Chief, we need to be working this. We're paying the fee. Why haven't we got anything from it? And it really hadn't been working that hard. So about 2 or 3 months ago, they went up to Virginia looking for some high water rescue vehicles. And they drove to Virginia, took some guys, and obviously the equipment when we got there was in very poor condition. So I said, come back and work on it some more. So they came back, worked on it some more. And in doing so, we found at Fort Bragg, which is just an hour and a half up the road, this high water rescue vehicle. So when we do have the next flooding event, not only are we trying to prevent it by cleaning our storm drains, we'll have a vehicle that we can go into the public housing areas to extract our citizens that are trapped in these high water events. Now, we can also use this truck for anything else that we want to, but that truck is specifically designed for high water rescue in those areas. Now, we also, if you notice when you came in this evening, parked right in front of the fire station, is a Humvee, which is like an ambulance type Humvee setup. You can exactly. You've been there and done them. You've already ridden it on many a time. It's got jump seats in the back that we can flip up so they can seat, or you can lay it down and do that. We had that truck, and we're picking up another one this week, another Humvee this week, free of charge, $0. Other than the membership fee we pay to join the 1033 program, we're going to get that high water rescue truck and 2 Humvees. The 2 Humvees can be used during the storm because we still have to patrol. Our officers still have to ride out on patrol, but what we found out with Hurricane Matthew and Hurricane Florence, they're patrolling, but they're riding through water that's getting in the cars and getting the computers and tearing down vehicles. So we can use the Humvees for patrols, and we can use the high water rescue for patrols if we have to, or strictly for that. You see it parked in that building, so that leads me into another thing. So that's where we're going to keep them. Well, we are now the owners of the Pepsi-Cola property building. So this truck is parked in that Pepsi-Cola building, and we just got access to it, and we just said we didn't want it in the weather, so we've temporarily parked that one in there, and we'll move the Humvee in there as well. And when we get the second Humvee, that's where we're going to house them for now, is there. So we're not only preparing for the stormwater by cleaning our drains, now we're figuring out how we can rescue our citizens if they need that assistance from us. Because as we saw with Hurricane Dorian, when Hurricane Dorian came in, it looked like it was going to hit towards Charleston. So guess where all those resources that we got with Florence, we're all parked up here, they're going to go to where the storm damage is going to be done. So all those resources with the latest Hurricane Dorian, they were positioned those closer to Charleston. So if we had something bad, we can't wait for the cavalry to come. We got to be the cavalry. So that's why we're getting these trucks, and I applaud Chief Tony Flowers and the gentleman down there in the acquisition of these trucks. So they've done a great job on that, and we're preparing for that. The other thing is we had several months ago applied for a hometown economic grant through the Municipal Association, and we are the winners. It was included in your packet of a hometown economic grant. It's a facade grant for $25,000. We will be we'll use the conduit of HMRA to use this money with, but it's for downtown renovations, facade grants. It's $25,000 grant. It's a pretty competitive grant. There's a lot of municipalities that apply for it, and I think they gave 8 or so. So kudos to us for doing that and getting that grant taken care of. Christmas parade this year, a little bit on Christmas this year. On December the 8th, we're going to have the Christmas parade, which is a Sunday afternoon. We're going to have the Christmas parade prior to the Christmas tree lighting. So I think the parade's set for like 4 o'clock, followed straight in, leading into the Christmas tree celebration and tree lighting in front of the courthouse, then followed by the fireworks. So we're trying to condense everything into one day. Better for our staff and get a good crowd.
It's much better.
Yeah. You got a lot of people there, and it's better for the staff. And I just think it's going to be a neat idea having everything happening.
You try to do 2 events,
It's logistics.
It's too much.
And we get a good participation. Over on Marshall Street, we have on Marshall Street, we have that lot right in front of Marshall Street. We've been in there, the guys been around and cleaning around those trees, cleaning up around Marshall Street, making that area a little bit more presentable, especially when we're cutting the grass, doing all that. Down at with the Coochie Park, a lot of the trees were low hanging. And you might think, why does that matter? Well, if you're on the tractor, riding the tractor, those guys that go to the tractor get your head slapped by tree limbs and stuff. So we're going in and cut all the trees up high so you don't get your head knocked off from doing that. Also, I'll pass on that one. I think I told you. But last Friday, we had our great Veterans Day program. And thank you for getting our speaker, Mr. Christopher Sullivan. He did a fantastic job. Thank you, Tassie, for arranging that. He did a great job and everything. Everybody had a great day at our event. We had 75 hats that we presented to our veterans, and Tassie had some medals and some medals for some of the gentlemen that had served our country and served them well. And of I just think it was a grand, fantastic event. I would like to get a motion, if y'all don't mind, since Christopher Shelvin is a Marion native and does such a fantastic job with the Fox 84 initiative, and he came and spoke to us, and he's a veteran, to maybe make a $100 contribution to his Fox 84 initiative, and they'll have their run coming up in the spring. So maybe we could, someone entertain a motion to
So moved.
second. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? And we'll get with Reverend Williams and see what we can figure out from Mr. Reverend Williams as well, because he came and played some fantastic music. So I think that's all the comments I have, but I want to say, Tassie, thank you for helping us with organizing that, and I think it was a great event. Moving on down the line, Mr. Baker.
Do you want to mention the mini cleanup? Even though we have to set
Sure.
the date later?
Yeah, so Mr. Rick Seagroves and Tyler Seagroves are the individuals that own the property west of Marion, old Blake McIntyre and Williamson Farm. Catfish Creek runs right through it. So Mr. Rick Seagroves and his son Tyler, along with their equipment operator, Bud Britt. Bud Britt's a good equipment operator. As y'all can see, if you've ridden out there,
I saw it.
they have cleaned Catfish Creek, they've cleaned all his ditches, and all our stormwater runs that way on that side of town.
If somebody hadn't been down there, they need to go.
They need to go see that. So, what we did is, we came up with a resolution thanking him for all that he has done to benefit the citizens of Marion. And I called them to see if they could be here tonight for the presentation of that resolution and thanks. It's the least we can do. But both of them had a prior conflict for this evening, so we're going to defer it to next month. They know about it, and I told them we want to get them here and publicly tell them thank you for so much of what they've done for the citizens of Marion. So that'll be coming next month.
Okay, that's all I have.
Okay? Mr. Frazier?
I'm looking at this notice here about the 19th of February 19th. If this is a little behind time. This is coming from the Municipal Association training. That's what we should be the 2020.
2020, okay.
Yeah.
We'll-
I got a communication today from them.
Okay. It's 2020.
Yeah, right.
All right.
And I went over to the county council meeting this morning. They came up with they had Teresa, she was there, and they coming up with new voting machines. So on the 23rd, they'll be over at the Opera House from 10 to 2
Okay.
to demonstrate those new voting machines.
Yep. The neat thing about these new voting machines is you'll have a keypad, and then it will actually, when you confirm it, it will print out a paper copy of what you voted on, and it'll scan in. So not only do you have the electronic one, you have a printer one that it can scan in, so you got both worlds. So,
Mr.
Yeah,
President,
they had a county council meeting. They had both machines that they demonstrated, after the meeting. So it's
They said
good.
that the citizens can go practice on those machines, I believe.
Oh, correct. Yeah, that's what they
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That if you people who had some people are fearful of the machine.
Yeah, right.
But they said that I'm not sure how long you can practice, but I did read that they said you can go and practice on those machines.
Yeah, that's good.
So
That's
if you
good.
need somebody to do that.
I'm going.
And if the machine rejected it, if something go wrong, you gotta fold that ballot up and give it to the poll worker, then they give you another one.
Gotcha.
So it's gonna eliminate time and no errors there.
That's right.
There won't be no errors.
that's good.
No mistakes. And, I just noticed as slow as we drive and on these parades, and the kids, they're looking for candy, and it seems to me that look like we could throw some out, way out to the curb. Because we driving slow, ain't nobody driving 50 miles an hour, we can kill you or get hurt.
I understand, but the goes back to the liability of someone's not looking and they get hit in the eye with a piece of candy, or some child steps out and falls and gets hurt. It's just too much liability on the parade organizers and the city.
Is that right?
Yes.
I just know.
I don't even know if they
But
let
we
you out.
are allowed to hand them like if they're in a little bag or secured some kind of way.
I guess if you hand it to them, that would be
Yeah,
okay.
that's what I've
Throw it
been
out
doing.
is
Problem if they get in there close enough to your vehicle,
Yeah.
It just opens up a lot of life.
And the problem is that in today's world, if you have one problem, it'll bust you in the head. One person can say, you gave my child
It
cancer,
will, but I
and they're diabetic. Just because somebody, children can't relate to sugar, and then there you go.
I just mentioned, I see what we.
But yeah, they do look forward to
Crazy world.
it. I mean, and I probably start walking and start doing mine that way. Yeah.
I'm gonna do that too. 'cause
And we have some
they
people
need
doing
to-
that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people actually walk.
They walk and do
They have
it.
him showing it to us.
Them kids jump out in front of that car.
Councilman Addison?
Oh, last month I talked about that place down there.
Yeah.
And ain't nothing happening now.
Well, I talked
Are they
to
friends of us or something? Somebody
I
got
talked to
friends?
Mr. Sanders.
Huh?
I talked to Mr. Sanders, you know, and that's,
All right.
he's in that business with his nephew and all, and I asked him about, if he would kind of clean up a little bit. But I did look at our ordinance and all, that is commercial, and, it's kind of just like Blanton Supply.
Yeah, but you put up some kind of fence or something just to camouflage, do something with it, cause
But
it's,
we, that's commercial, we don't require that, when it's not adjoining a residential.
it's in the
Outside.
it's in the neighborhood.
Yeah, but, like I say, we'd have to look at maybe the ordinance, changing something on ordinance, because we'd have to address, Blanton's, Thomas Supply, all the people that display outdoor stuff, we'd have to address all of them instead of, like Pine Straw, Bachelor's Hardware, we'd have to
Rest of
address all that.
stock material they need in case you got.
No, you got that dirt growing, grass growing, you sell that powder,
Since they got to have it to do their work, we
You ain't
can't.
gonna have it, it's been sitting there for a whole year, the same thing growing grass coming about.
But I did speak to them, they gonna look at, trying to clean it up a little bit.
Let's be realistic here now. All right? Cause I'm getting complaints about it,
Councilman Addison?
I know we've talked about it before, but time is getting dark early and stuff now. And I went Sunday from Walnut down to Shop, Liberty to Pizza Hut, and I came 12 streetlights out. And I know that we stop and get them, but you get run over on Liberty Street trying to stop and take a picture of the light pole.
Right.
I didn't know if maybe we could get like Red or somebody ride around night, you can't do it at daytime. And, that's a lot of streetlights, just that little distance. And we pay for them to work.
That's right. But I do my part and ride in the evenings, and like I said, if you can ride and take a picture of it, and shoot the thing, we can report for
I
it.
understand, but I
We'll get the police department.
Stop on Liberty Street, jump out there, run over.
You're right. We'll work on the lights. That's something we can work on. Figure that out. Get the police officers to look at some of them. They're one driving that's safe. They pop the blue light on and stop. Councilman Addison? Councilman Addison?
Yes. Again, thank everybody for all of your support, encouragement, and sacrifice to our veterans, and to Pastor Olivia. Thank you so much. And I love your passion, I love your vision, and you and I have worked together in the past, and it's my hope that we can continue to empower the children together. So if ever you need me, you know how to reach me. The other thing is, the coat giveaway, Rise Above It All, will take place on this Saturday, November the 16th at 11:30. I said 11:30 because I think I'm going to be in the Shriners Parade. It starts at 11, so that'll give me 30 minutes to walk from Bethel to the gym. If you have not purchased a coat or given a donation, it's not too late. If you plan on giving a used coat, it is too late because of the fact that we would have to get it dry cleaned with respect to bedbugs and whatever. We just want to make sure that the coat is clean and that it is feasible for the child. So anything that you donate as of today has to be a new item. Okay? If you would like to give a monetary donation, you can do so at the City Hall. Everybody's there, Ms. Patricia Ainsley. Just make sure that it's documented, and so you can get credit when I do my Facebook and newspaper ad. Thank you so very much.
Councilwoman, thank you for helping those jackets. That's a wonderful thing to do.
Thank you.
Councilman Hunt?
I'd just like to say again about the Veterans Day, I think it was a tremendous program.
I really thought it was a really tremendous program. I'd like to thank the mayor and Alan and everyone in the city who put it together so quickly. Because I think when Councilman Lewis brought it to our attention that she needed this thing to reflect, more emphasize how we appreciate our mayors. And I think we all got together at the last meeting, me, Mr. Frazier, Alan, and we got together and we talked about it. And we brought it together really, really quickly. And I want to thank the mayor, the administrator, and all the workers that were so diligently to get it done so cleanly and so effectively. For Shelvin, the music, and the veterans, of course. I want to thank them for their service and all their contributions to our society. Especially want to thank Ms. Lewis, because you've really done a great job, and I see you all over the place, representing our city. And you've been doing a marvelous and spectacular job. And God bless you. Yeah, thank you. That's all I have to say.
Any other things, comments? Motion to adjourn? So moved. All in favor? Aye.